One. Live from Ohio, it's Hale's headquarters. Wait, I don't know.
I feel like you were just here today.
It does feel that way, doesn't it?
Did any of us film? Oh, wait. I filmed all of us at the end, but before that, did any of us film?
No. It was just
That's
a good
weird.
day.
Yeah, it was really good. We got to see an old friend, Steve Wilson, auctioneer retired, and it was just a good day.
It was nice seeing Steve catching up, talking about old times, and he's trying to figure out how the auction business has changed. And Jeremy showed him how much it's changed.
He literally asked, "All right, how's the auction business changed?" And boy, has it changed. I mean, everything went from live to online. So
yeah, it's he was all live auctions, and people that don't know this, the storage facilities that I do live are the ones he used to do. So and I started doing those for him. I would fill in when he was in Florida for Sussin Self Storage and Paynesville, and that was interesting talking about the Sussin auction that happened.
yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, oh my gosh. And then we got to hang out. Jeremy got to give him the grand tour
Of Hale's headquarters, which was funny because he was telling us that his buddy watches, and he was telling him, "Yeah, I'm going to Hale's headquarters," and his buddy was like, "What?" Because I don't let anybody on the property. Like, the only people allowed on the property are people I have vetted. I know 100% I can trust them. And Steve is one of those guys I absolutely know I can trust. And
he was a police officer.
Yeah, we've fallen in love with him and his wife, and fortunate to call them friends. And what a fun day. Just hear a bunch of auction guys talking about auctions and stories and from units, and this was in that unit and that. I don't know. Most people would probably find that boring. I'm sitting there going, all right, what's the next story? What's the next story? What's
Talking
the
about
next
a guy
story?
that you fall in love with and his wife.
What?
Oh, look at that hair.
Look at that hair.
You had a chance to wear my hair today.
Hold on, I'll be back.
You know what? I think
hold down the fort real quick, and I'll be right back.
I got it. I think I think in this world today, Conky, if miracles truly as a matter of fact, there's a lot of times that you guys go to pray and I leave beforehand, right? I think that I should maybe say a little prayer right now. Do you think that would be okay?
I think that'd be appropriate.
All right. Lord, I wish that others in our friendship group had hair just like Conky. If you could make that happen, it'd be a miracle. Amen.
If you just, maybe.
I'm still bald, Conky. I'm still bald.
It's about prayer and taking action. It's about prayer and taking action.
I was putting Miracle Grow up there. I don't know. Conky.
You just must not be using the right type of Miracle Grow on that, because, look at Rob. Well, I would say look at Rob, but look at Rob. He's got the right type of Miracle Grow.
Now listen, hold on.
What? I was hoping you'd come up with the.
I got the Miracle Grow, but you got to get it ready. And Jeremy used to say, if he had Conky's hair,
I could take over the world.
He could do anything.
Jesus, it's a miracle.
So
holy cow.
I got Conky's hair now. Hold on, I got full screen this. I think I could take over the world.
Look at that.
Conky, how do you even leave the house? I just be there all day going like this.
Sometimes I just have to. Sometimes I've got places to go, people to see.
Well, God answered my prayer. It just wasn't my head. It was Rob's.
So
dang.
Yeah. Man.
Wow. One of these things just doesn't belong here. One of these things just isn't the same.
Now the reason I couldn't just come up with it on because I knew I wouldn't be able to get past my wife with this kind of hair.
Oh no.
And I've learned that from Noreen. If you got hair like this, you can't just sneak by your wife. You know, she's gonna stop. She wants to touch your hair. I know.
Mm-hmm.
Hair like that, it's McDonald's every day. Sometimes
Every day.
2 or 3 times a day.
Yeah, it's like supersize that.
Oh my goodness.
You know, we should rotate the hair. One week Jeremy can have it, 1 week Rob can have it.
If Jeremy gets this hair, he's gonna buy a convertible. I mean,
Yes,
that's the
I
first thing
am.
he's gonna do. I already know it. Because you can't just have this hair and not have a convertible, Conky. I'm surprised you don't have a convertible.
You know,
I know this guy's got a convertible.
Yeah, it's drop top right up here.
What do you
You
think?
know, Roy takes the convertible out and he's like, I want to feel that wind through my hair. Well, now 2 of these things don't belong here.
I
Roy,
know. I mean,
I think we should start a club.
yeah. Actually, if I had known that it was going to be the hair day, I'd have waited to get my hair cut.
Listen, you can start a club and not only be or you could be a member and
We can be the presidents.
right.
Here we go.
Hey,
here we go.
Conky!
Here we go.
Holy cow.
Now what? There.
Whoa!
see. That's why I couldn't wear this hair in front of my wife.
That hair. I need that hair.
I'm telling you.
You know,
Jeremy,
for a brief time, you'll see this in Jeremy's video Saturday, but for a brief time, I had the Harley jacket on. So I really did feel like I had it all. The Harley vest.
you
And
did.
for a brief time,
Yep.
let's not tell Rob's wife, but Noreen's fingers were going through Rob's head of hair right there, too. So for a second there, Noreen, she went, 2 Conkies? Am I dreaming?
Only thing she's like, now I just need the Wolverine to show up. Oh my gosh. So Jeremy, I think we should do is we should like just patent this and just start selling Conky hair.
Oh, that's a good idea. We're
Do you
gonna have
wanna go to
beat Conky
McDonald's?
to it.
Do you want to go in the ball pit? Get Conky hair. Man.
You're diabetic, but you want a different type of sugar? Conky hair.
Here
I mean,
you
Conky,
go.
how do you do this, man, every day? I mean, how do you even leave the mirror, Conky?
I don't know. It's tough. I got to pry myself away from it.
Conky, how many combs do you buy a year? Because you just go through.
Oh,
them. Just,
I break unbreakable combs every day.
that's what I figured.
Every day.
Super
See, we're
strength
gonna have
hair.
to record him at Painesville because people don't realize when he's looking at units, when it's a good unit because he stops doing this. He'd be like,
That's the giveaway.
That is
soon as he
true.
stops combing his
He
hair.
does do that. That is his giveaway.
There you go. Everyone's got to tell.
Yeah, I can't play
And that
poker.
one's his. That's
Man.
Conky
true.
would walk around like wind in his hair. Oh,
It's like, yeah.
hold on, good unit.
I mean, that's nice hair.
When's
I
the
know-
Painesville auctions?
Saturday.
This Saturday.
Don't tell
Like,
me.
did- This Saturday?
September 6th.
Is
Yep.
it Painesville or was it Chardon?
It's on. Chardon is on the list
Okay.
as
Is
of
it?
right now.
So that means they only got a couple units.
It has 2. And then I said, "What do you think they're going to go, Pete?" And he goes, "I haven't heard from him. I don't know." So I'll have an update tomorrow, and I'll text you all. How's that?
Okay.
Sounds good. Hobby Spot said, I thought Tonka trucks turned Conky on.
Oh, that's one of many.
One of many things.
That's
Did
why
you
we
know
call
why?
him.
They said good evening.
We
They
call 'em-
just stopped in to say hello. They're on family getaway.
And the hair, I mean, that's just basically this all ladies like this. Right, Conky? How do you keep all the women away from you? Does Noreen have to stand around with a stick and keep them away from you?
You notice
And
I had
some
a
of the
hoodie on
fellas.
today.
Yeah, you did have her with you.
If I need to, I pull the hood up and it helps.
Okay. That makes
only
sense.
the ones from the front see it, and all the sides and back.
It's kind of like Superman when he puts on the glasses and like
yeah. It's just
right. He's just Clark Kent then.
Yep.
I got you. So you put the hood over the hair and it hides it, and it keeps the ladies at bay. Okay.
Yep.
You got. I'm trying to figure out this stuff because I don't even remember last time I bought a comb. I let it comb my hair. When's the last time you combed your hair, Jeremy? Do you remember? I don't even remember the last time I combed my hair. Well, now
this morning. Oh wait, that was a dream.
What was it? You had these long, luscious locks.
I had Conky's hair.
If I had Conky's hair,
Jimmy, one of these days for real, I'm going to give you some of my hair. Just you can take it and do whatever. You can have a wig made out of it, whatever you want to do.
Conky, you got to make one of these for him.
One of those, Conk.
That's all he wants. One of these. You're gonna have to save hair for a few years, Conk.
Well, I'm going to have to let it grow for a little bit then.
And we need two, one for me and one for Roy.
All right.
Yeah, and then everybody else can pay for one.
And we start selling them.
Yeah.
Do you want to look like Conky?
The wig can they make wigs out of such small amounts of hair? I thought they had to have like really long hair to.
I don't know, Conky, but we'll have to find out.
Something to investigate.
Let me see here. Oh man, yeah. So we did have a crazy good time today.
Yeah, Roy, you missed
how did that work out?
Really well. It was fun. It's
Steve
just
had
fun.
some good
All the storage auction stories, man. Like everybody's got a story, and then another story, and another story, and I eat that stuff up. I think you guys do too. Story.
It's like this story, and then someone's like, "Oh, I remember this from this," and then this person remembers something from that story, and it just like goes around. It was awesome.
For most people, they would think that this was the most boring thing ever, but for us in the industry, all these stories about what was found and what happened with stuff in the storage units. I mean, it's just fun to listen to.
Yeah. I think it's a comfortable audience to talk to, you know what I mean? Not saying that, those that are joining us tonight aren't, but there's people that don't believe some of the things you find, and you don't feel reserved when you're talking about what you're finding, because you're talking with people that do it and they know.
Yeah, they know.
Like, oh, you found jewelry, or you found gold, or you found coins in a storage unit, and it's like, I mean, it's happened. It happens, so
every day.
What was so weird about? Well, I would say weird. Jeremy was showing Steve some of the coins in his collection, and he said these are from the Medina unit, and he didn't have to say too many words about it. Oh, that's the Rosie's Bush unit. Yeah, that's where these came from. You know what I mean? How long ago was that?
4. I didn't live at Hale's headquarters then, so I've been here for 3.5 years. This is longer than 3.5 years. 4 or 5 years ago.
I was thinking that was right after Public Storage came back and started doing them over the phone. Remember for a while we were doing live auctions, but you had to look on your phone.
Oh, I hated that.
That was so stupid.
I think that's when you bought that unit.
That was, oh man, I totally forgot about that.
You're right, because we were sitting at the gate. We were sitting outside of the gate waiting. Like we're all by each other. We weren't doing the 6-foot thing. Yes, and I was bidding on the phone, and then Dave Lilly was like, "Oh crap, I missed it."
That's when that was.
You're right.
So that had to be like the like 2020 or early 21 when they did that.
They when did they stop doing that? I want to say they stopped doing that like in 2020, late 2020.
So it had to be 2020 then.
I mean, I could actually go back and figure out when, because I remember I bought a unit right when they went back to doing live. Ended up buying the worst unit we ever had to date at that point, but it had so much great stuff, but we had to throw it all out.
It hurts.
Yeah.
I remember Jesse buying one in Medina, and I think he, for the first time, basically just left the unit and lost his deposit.
Oh, the one
Was
with
that bed bugs?
Yeah, the one that smelled so bad.
So I was a little late today for the starting the show today because it was a big birthday today. So, you know whose birthday it was today?
I
Your
know.
invisible wife's.
No, it's a big birthday, but that wouldn't be. This is I would have to say probably bigger birthday just because without this person,
If it was his invisible wife's birthday, he would have let her see him with the hair on it.
there's my beautiful mother.
Look at that.
She's not invisible?
No, she's not visible. That's the other side of the family, my wife's side. My wife's parents and that are invisible. So yeah, my mom's birthday turned 80 years old today.
Nice.
Wow.
She doesn't look a day over 60.
Happy birthday, Mrs. Zaba.
So that
She's
was my
still
mom.
living at home, right?
She has the house.
Man,
And,
she's doing great.
Yeah. And she just got back a couple of weeks ago. She went on a 2-week tour in Europe.
Oh, nice.
Ooh,
And
nice.
yeah, she goes with like a church group and they go visit like religious areas and stuff like that.
Does
And
she
she was
do that
actually
often,
in.
or that-
She was supposed to go see the Pope speak, and the Pope died right before she went. So I guess that was a little bit longer ago than a couple months ago. I don't know, when was that? That's when she was in Europe last. I guess it was a while ago. But yeah, she's doing great for 80 years old. She's moving, kicking, and doing. I mean, I'm hoping when I'm 80, I can still do stuff.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm just lucky because my mother, I think she's 80 years old now. I think she was 22. She had brain surgery. She had a tumor on her brain. And now you got to think about surgeries.
Back then, yeah.
50 some years ago, brain surgery, okay? And didn't have a great chance of surviving, but they gave her brain surgery. She was paralyzed in her face. Her face is paralyzed on one side, and she can't hear in one of her ears after the surgery. But she lived. And if she didn't live, well, I wouldn't be here. So whoever that surgeon was back in 1970, whatever happened, the surgery was, or it might have been 60 something. But yeah, amazing. But yeah, and she's lived ever since, you know what I'm saying? And she's had a little issues here and there, but man, 80th birthday, that's just great. And then Steve, we were talking to him today, he turned 75. And he's moving. I'm just like, man, I'm hoping I can, he's getting around, he's riding his motorcycle, he's out there doing stuff, he's 75 and enjoying life still. And I'm like, man, I'm just hoping when I'm 75, 80 years old, I'm still enjoying life. And Jeremy and I are probably like this.
Yeah. Won't even be able to walk.
Too many storage units.
I'm like, Rob, can you help Steve down the stairs? Steve's like, I got it.
So, but yeah, just the unbelievable, I hope that I can make it that long and have my senses. Well, I don't have my senses already. I know you guys are going to say.
Yeah, this is gone a long time ago.
No, you haven't. And, and then we were talking about, like being in relationships where people support you and things like that, because my wife's dumb enough to be with me and how much hours and time. And, we're just talking about work in general, how much it takes up of your life, especially in the auction business world. Man. But yeah, we got all these. It was good. We had the retire auctioneer. Christian was there. Mr. Hales, myself, the 3 auctioneers, and the future auctioneer, Conky. And then I was like, we all guys just start selling at the same time. Then all of a sudden we all started.
We all start selling.
It was funny. Everyone's like selling different things. Hey man, it was funny though. It was just a bunch of auctioneers going at one time. It was cool. So yeah, the good old winking lizard.
And you know what Steve said as soon as he got out of his car, Roy? He goes, why would you ever leave here? I went, one word, snow.
That's all it is.
4-letter word.
Around here, that's a bad word.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, when it's 30 degrees and you're moving a storage unit compared to when it's 80.
Yeah.
When you can't feel your fingers, that's the bad part.
I was telling my son today, like, I'm going to have to talk to my doctor and see if I can get one of those handicap placards for the winter.
Oh, yeah.
So I got that pinched nerve, and it's like when the cold hits, like I even told Lisa, like I never figured I'd move away from here or worry about the weather. But now with that pinched nerve, man, as soon as I step out when it's cold, that left foot numb as what?
Goes numb.
Oh,
yeah, you got that whole issue going on. You still are dealing with that, man.
Yeah.
Winters aren't horrible in Ohio. I mean, especially the past few have been really mild. It's what we do, like Rob said, you can't feel your fingers. You know, you're out in it hour upon hour upon hour. And even though you're moving and you're grooving, it sometimes will chill you to your bone with the wind chill coming off the lake. So, you know, winters aren't bad at all. It's we're out in the actual elements the entire time doing what we do. And that's the rough part.
Oh yeah. And that's when we usually get our best units is in the winter, January.
Nobody wants to go out.
Yeah. Except for last year, earlier this year? Yeah. For whatever reason, this year it didn't work out. But normally, winter hits, nobody wants to go out.
Well,
but I will say this year is going to be nice though. I can't wait. We got our new trailer
generator with your heater going. He's going to be like, oh, going to be melting. He's going to have like 12 freaking Eden Pures around him and stuff. They're going to be like in shorts doing storage lockers in the winter.
Yep.
It's too hot in here.
Trailer, oh my goodness. That trailer is amazing.
It's like, oh, it's a little hot. Let me go make myself a coffee or a hot cocoa and take a breather. I
forgot what it's like to have hair, Conky. How do you deal with that? It must get hot out there, huh, Conky? Like in the summertime, you must be dying.
Well, I try to have it cut a little shorter in the summertime, but
okay,
it doesn't always work out that way.
Man, I mean, I was like, I forgot what it's like to have hair. Now I remember. I'm like, my head's getting hot already.
Did you fill that trailer yet, Roy?
Actually, we filled it once already. It's almost empty. As a matter of fact, I'm at a point now. We actually have the other trailer empty. Lisa's old van empty, and we're almost done emptying the Norton unit from the new trailer. So it's like, man, I got room to fill stuff up.
Oh, he'll be buying in Painesville. You already know he's ready.
Hobby Spot's asking a question. Been thinking about getting my auction firm license. You recommend getting the firm license or just go for the auctioneer license? Hobby Spot. This is the answer. Roy, what do you say? You
had both, didn't you?
I actually say go for the auctioneer license. And the reason why is because you get a lot of information that you won't get from the auction firm license. There's no class, no curriculum, no nothing to help you with the auction firm license. You just have to study and understand the auction law and then understand how to write contracts. Whereas in the auction class, you get to learn stories, work with other people. You get to study the material. You get more perspective and insight on everything in regards to it. Plus, there is ultimately, as you become an auctioneer, you actually will spend less money on your renewals and credentials, so to speak. So there's a savings to that because after a couple of years, you end up in the auction recovery fund, so you don't no longer need to pay for a bond. So there's definitely some benefits, but I think the information and what you learned in the class is way far better than just the auction firm license.
Because you had both.
What's that?
I said you had both licenses.
Correct. So our business, and that's the other thing, like your business, if you're doing it for yourself, an auctioneer, but our business has the auction firm license. So I had to do that first, and then I still wanted to get the other, the next certification level auctioneer. But doing that, it's kind of like, you get more in the class. It was like when I got a motorcycle, right? And I didn't have my license. I rode on my temps for 7 years, and most cops pull you over and they're like, you're on your temps, I can see you can ride it, whatever, give me a ticket, send me on my way. But for 7 years, I was on a crotch rocket trying to take the motorcycle license test, right? Because at that time, like, you'd have to camp out in January to get into the motorcycle class. Well, years later, met Lisa. I'm getting another motorcycle. She wants a motorcycle. I go to the class with her because she wanted me to take the class with her. And now at this point, I tell everybody same thing. Get the most information you can to protect yourself, so whether it takes a little bit of time to go through the class, which is 2 weeks, you're going to get more information to protect yourself, your business, especially if you have clients and you start selling for other people. You're going to be better equipped to protect you, your clients, and the public. And from there, you also have better credentials to make more money, in my opinion.
More opportunity. So the auctioneer, because Roy and I talked a lot about this after we went and got our licenses together, but your opportunities are much greater with the auctioneer license. Doesn't matter if you don't intend on doing it. So for example, I have an auctioneer's license. I can do consignments. I can go out and write contracts like Roy and Rob does, but I don't. But because I have the license, I can. And so if an opportunity, and it would have to be a great opportunity, like some of the things that Rob and Roy have found and contracted, like incredible. Roy's coin auction right now, everybody knows about all the cars and the toys with Rob, and if those opportunities were knocking at my door, I would go, yes, I would love to do that consignment. But because I have the full license, I can actually, when that opportunity comes, say yes and not go, well, I can't do it. So even if I'm not using it, and I haven't yet, consignments or anything like that, I can if need be or want.
What I would say is conky. No, the auction haven't. I mean, I don't know how much the difference of price an auction firm and a regular auction license is. The only main difference I see, because I don't think it's going to cost you very much difference in the long run, you got to do everything basically the same, is you're going to get the 2 weeks of class. That's the biggest difference. And a lot of people are like, how can I take 2 weeks aside? Well, you're investing 2 weeks in yourself. And like Roy said, you're going to get so much more information, knowledge out of there. And not only that, you go to school, wherever you decide to go to school with, whoever's teaching that class, and you're going to have other auctioneers come in, you get to get contacts with those guys. And you know what? Hey, something pops up you don't know. You can call, hey, like all of us can call Mark Walton. Hey, Mark, blah, 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 and the guy's been not him. He grew up, his dad was doing auctions. He was a little kid. His dad was doing auctions.
What he knows.
His whole life.
What he knows. He knows everything. He knows everything auction.
He's seen everything and anything. And it's like, you could call that guy up and he could tell you blah, 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 or this or that. Or if not, he could say, hey, you know what, Robert? This is the guy you probably should talk to. Call this guy up or that. And just having that resource, you're never going to get that, and that vast, you might not, the thing is like, well, I'm never going to need to call him. That's what you think. And then one day you might. And that's the thing. When you have that opportunity to have somebody, just like sometimes, hey, I might call Jeremy and ask him a question, or call Conky or Roy or whoever, just because we all have each other, one time, and it's always good to have a sounding board, and especially someone that has professional knowledge in the business that you want to be a part of. That opportunity that anybody you can meet in those classes, I mean, it's a great. So I would say definitely get your auction license. It's worth the 2 weeks. You're investing in yourself, and at the end of the day, you're a better business person, in my opinion. Because you're more well-rounded and you can sell like Jeremy said, if the opportunity comes available, even though he's not out there pursuing it, someone knocks on his door and say, hey, I got this $300,000 worth of collection I want you to sell. Would you mind selling it? He might say, okay.
And another thing, and you sort of touched on this anyway, but I took a look at the curriculum, and it looked like there was going to be some time spent on auctioning livestock in the thing. And I'm never going to auction off a pig or a hog or a cattle, but because I'm paying for the class, because I'm taking time to be there, I'm going to try to learn just as much on that day as I do any other day. And when I get done with it, I will be able to auction off a pig or a hog or a cattle, even though I have no intention of ever going in, near one, other than like the bacon that's in my refrigerator.
I am going to go get some cattle and have Conky auction them off after he gets his license, just to say he did it. I'm doing it, man. I'm doing it.
I was just thinking, where would I find somebody who would want to consign me to auction off cattle? But
I'm right here, Conky. I am right here.
There you go. You got your first client right there.
That's awesome.
We're doing it, guys. We're doing it. We have to.
Firm and the auction license, I don't know. The main difference, I don't know what the main difference is, really.
I think one allows for live call and the other one doesn't. Is it correct?
You just can't live call? That's basically it.
Yeah. That's it. there's a price difference in price. The class is, you know, 1,200 plus. You know, you got to get your bond and stuff, but all that stuff you still have to get with an auction firm. So the difference really is, you know, you're paying $1,200 for a class. In the auction firm, there's no cost, but there's no curriculum. You just got to get the material and study it and learn it.
Then you got to pay for the test or whatever.
Yeah. So, but yeah, the only difference, auction firm, you can't live call. So, but again, you know, when I look at it, you know, like Rob was saying, you know, Jeremy as well, like it's the camaraderie you get. And it's kind of like with an auction firm, my connection with auctioneers was different. Let's put it that way. Whereas now it's like, you know, just telling people I'm an auctioneer, I have an auctioneer license, talking to other auctioneers that I don't know. And it's like, oh, wow, you know, and then it just opens up another door of conversation that, you know, I've never really been able to tap into. Let's put it that way.
So
it's not that you don't, but it just, you know, people, when you say you're an auctioneer and you're talking to another auctioneer, it becomes like that camaraderie where you can talk freely about things that, you know, people don't understand if you're on the auctioneer side of the coin, right?
So right, when you just had your auction firm, how long did you have your auction firm license before you got the auction?
At the auctioneer last year, the auction firm license, I think I had to get it in 2021.
Okay, so a couple years. You had it for a couple years. Did you
Yeah.
call yourself an auctioneer when you had your auction firm license?
Nope. No.
Okay.
You're not an auctioneer, so I mean, and it really isn't me. The auction firm license is really the business, which, you know, now that I am an auctioneer, I can change my auction firm, which I'll do that next year when we have to renew. I'll change our business to an auctioneer business and not an auction firm.
Well, I have 2 auction licenses because my company has an auction license, not a firm license, a regular auction license because they didn't have firm license yet. And I have an auction license because I couldn't advertise second sense auctions.
Yep.
Without having, they had to have their own license, which is dumb as that. I don't even get into that whole aspect.
So did your business have to go to school for 2 weeks, or
it failed, Conky?
Oh,
and luckily,
it didn't have the hair yet.
It did not have the hair, but I'm sending it back to school, and it's gonna win. No, it was weird. This one auctioneer, okay, I'm not gonna say his name anything else. He's a little shady, but long story short, he told me, he goes, well, if they take my license, I can just keep doing the auctions under my firm license or my company auction license. And I'm like, I don't know if that's going to work because the license, your company license has to have someone under it, like a name. You have to have an auction name or something.
Yeah.
He's like, so I was like, I don't think that's going to work, buddy. But he was all thinking that he could get, you know, I'm like, first of all, if you're going to lose your license, you already got a problem. Right?
You're done. Yeah, you're screwed. The state's out.
If you're planning on like losing your license, maybe you're in the wrong business, right?
You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If you need $1 million worth of ammo, you're living in the wrong neighborhood.
That was a story from today. What's the full story, Conky?
All right, so somebody was it wasn't $1 million, it was 1 million rounds of ammo.
Rounds.
Yeah. I was just thinking $1 a round, but if somebody was saying they had 1 million rounds.
One of the people that buy stuff from my auctions told me they have over 1 million rounds of ammunition. Because when they were buying ammo for my auctions, and I was like, "Man, you sure?" And he's like, "Oh, there's another." He's like, "I got over 1 million rounds." Da, da, da. And I'm like, "He's like, you never know." And I'm like, "Dude, you're never gonna need 1 million rounds in your life. I don't even care. Right. Just to shoot 1 million rounds, just to load. You know how long it take you to load?"
Not only that, the amount of money he spent for 1 million rounds of ammo, he could have moved out of the bad neighborhood, got into a good neighborhood.
He could have bought all bulletproof windows
woods and been safe.
Jeremy, he could have bought all bulletproof windows.
Yeah,
like the house we saw today. Everything was bulletproof.
One of my neighbors has all bulletproof windows, everything in the barn, everything's all bulletproof. Secret cameras that look like trees all around the property. This is the neighbor that lives behind my property, which is
Jeremy, I tried looking at that on like Google Maps, and they have the house blurred out. Okay. They even have, you know, that one camera that's on that curve before you see the house?
Yeah.
That's blurred out. They blurred out the cameras that are on that pole.
That's
I
weird.
told you. Government. Government contracting over there. Some serious. Yeah, I got one neighbor who has a helicopter and a pad, and another neighbor whose every single window is bulletproof and has fake tree cameras. But are real cameras, fake trees, but are real cameras. Has a full security team on his property 24/7.
And then Jeremy goes, "Hey, Rob, jump the fence."
Yeah.
I said, "I could do it with Conky here.
I could do anything with Conky hair.
Anything."
Rob, jump the fence. I'll film.
Oh my gosh. So I was thinking about, once again, my beautiful mom, 80th birthday today. Love her. You know, I was thinking about taking my mom to Vegas. And I don't know if you guys heard about this. At the Sphere in Vegas, they remastered The Wizard of Oz. And they're having like multiple showings a day. And it's a 4D. If you guys don't know about the Sphere, it's like a crazy circular theater. They had all kind of crazy concerts. The outside and the inside can light up and change in about anything. It's got, I forgot how many millions of LEDs, and they can make anything. But long story short, they got The Wizard of Oz remastered and everything for the Sphere. They spent 2 years working on it. They had to do AI. They redid the whole sound. They took out they made it as crystal clear, best sound possible. Long story short, my mom's favorite movie is that, so I thought maybe I should take my mom. It goes until March, I think. I was like, man, maybe middle of February. Take my mom to go see Wizard of Oz in Vegas for her birthday.
She'd love that.
I was thinking, just a little, not like a couple days. That's it, like a day or two. Check it out. But yeah, I was watching the views and the part where the tornado's going, and they got these fans and there's blowing and like papers blowing, and there's people like ducking, thinking like the house and the tree are gonna actually hit them. So it looked pretty fun.
Wow.
And my wife's like, well, that movie's good. I said, listen, The Wizard of Oz, when it was made, was 1939 or something like that. I don't know. It's like 1930 something. It still holds up today. I mean, that's like, there's not many movies out there. You got a few that still hold up today. I mean, you got Wizard of Oz, Gone with the Wind, Batman,
Ghostbusters,
Batman, Ghostbusters,
Police Academy 3. No.
I mean, come on, that was a good one.
There's only a few great ones out there.
All those Police Academies are awesome.
Spaceballs. They're coming out with the new Spaceballs.
Are they really?
And yeah, I just saw this Mel Brooks. Like, he's got Rick Moranis comes out of retirement to be, what's his name? Darth Helmet or whatever his name is in the movie.
Yeah.
But Rick Moranis hasn't been in the movie for, like, he retired. And he's like, but he's coming out of retirement to do it. Because they just did an interview with Mel Brooks. I think he's 98.
Yeah, he's like almost 100 years old.
And he still is like sharp as ever, cracking jokes and all this other stuff. I'm just like, once again, man, if I could be 98 and still have my head with me and still be able to move and do stuff.
Yeah. Wow.
If I have this hair, I might be able to do it. That's all I can think of. You know what I'm saying?
I just hope I have my hair when I'm that old. If I'm
Conky, it ain't going anywhere, pal.
You know what I'm saying?
I'll sell you this if you need it.
Or his business will sell it to you if he loses his license.
Yeah.
Yes, if I lose my license, my business will.
Do I have to bid on it actually, or can I just buy it outright?
Conky, have you seen mine and Roy's hair? How little we seem to have.
I'd be in
keep
trouble if I
losing
had to
more and
bid on
more. Yeah, you might have a little competition. Yeah, look at these hairlines. You might have a little competition in the bidding.
One of the things I hate getting the haircut because of the hairline.
That's
People,
right,
the barber will like make it all lopsided. So my cousin was cutting it.
Search for more money, sorry.
And I'm like, dude, come on, man. I'm like, it's crooked. You got it. I don't want to push it back. Look, man, it's got to stay symmetrical. I can't be walking around with a hairline like this.
Baseball search for more money. That's hilarious.
Roy, you and I could go in together to buy this this Conky hair and outbid Conky. You get it on every day that's ends with a Y, and I hold a second. This isn't gonna
You
work.
get it tomorrow.
And
So
I
I
get
get
it, and I always get it tomorrow.
Right. That's the only day that doesn't end with a Y. It's tomorrow. So you're all right. I mean, just think about it. If we could get the whole world to have conky hair, I mean,
Well,
we could
there'd be no
change the
water.
world.
I know Noreen will love it.
Change
She
the
gets the
world.
original. She gets the original.
Noreen will be like, my dreams.
the Conky Hair Club for Men.
I just like hear this Eminem song in my head, like, you know, with the real conky, please stand up. Please stand
Please
up.
stand up.
Please stand up. Or the real conky, please stand up.
Oh,
Please stand up. Oh, man. Oh.
Oh my goodness.
They could have hair like Conky and play with Tonkas like Conky and Hot Wheels, but with the real Conky, please stand up. Please stand
Please.
up.
Well, we know McDonald's is going to have to run 24/7
McDonald's everywhere.
That was everywhere.
because then ball pit. Yeah, I can tell you one thing: ball pits are coming back to McDonald's.
Oh, man.
I stock in Lysol.
The best was what you found today in your unit for Conky. The spoon.
Oh yeah, the spoon.
He found a Dairy Queen spoon in a box in a unit. That's once again, you never know what you're gonna find in a storage unit.
Ever, and there's a Dairy Queen spoon,
Why is that Dairy
Did it
Queen
have a little
spoon?
bit of peanut on it?
little peanut parfait.
Yeah.
If they had a little fudge on there, I would have licked it. Oh, I forgot about the Pez.
Oh, the Pez. Yeah. Oh, God.
Because
Dude, we found a Pez dispenser today, which nobody's going to see this video until Saturday, right? Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. And so all of our videos are like a few days ahead right now. So everything's all prepped and ready. A few days ahead, we're ahead. But anyways, so Saturday you'll see. I start opening the Pez dispenser. It's a normal Pez dispenser. It is shooting Pez out at everybody. I'm just going, do it, and it's like. It was crazy.
Who was it, Steve or someone? They're like, well, if they're Pez in there, we'll eat them or something. And then he opens up and the Pez comes out. So then the one falls on the ground. I pick it up and I just throw it up in the air like I'm going to catch it in my mouth. But then I actually caught it. And I was like, because I threw it real high. I didn't think I was going to catch it. And
He got it.
Then I'm like, and it's like gray. You know, I don't know what color it was supposed to be, but it's like grayish color now. So it's been in there so long. But it still had
With
a little
dots.
bit of citrus flavor.
You know, it's got those dots, those weird dots all over it when you know candy's old.
I'm like,
It's called mold.
I did chew it and I did spit it out.
Oh, good. Yeah, mine landed on the ground. I didn't. I didn't try to retrieve it.
That's true. That's why I said I was telling people, I was like, you know, someone's like, Rob, you know, your mom did it. You know, I said, you don't know how long you got. You got to appreciate it. And that's for sure. And I definitely, that's why I was thinking about going on a trip with her, taking a little trip. And like I said, go see this movie, just something. Because, man, you know, like I said, I lost my dad. I remember how it was 7-8 years ago. And I remember my brother Tim and I were at the flea market. And that's the last time I was ever at the flea market, set up. And we're set up, and I got the phone call from my mom and said, hey, your dad passed away. And I was like, crap. And then you go to the house, and he's still there because you got to wait for the ambulance or the whatever people to come. That was strange. So, but yeah, your time is short. You don't know how long you got. You know, I lost a sister-in-law, and Christmas, the day after Christmas, 5 years ago, died of brain aneurysm, 50-some years old.
Just never know.
You know, I tell my kids that all the time. Some people get 1 second in this world, and some people get 101 years. You don't know, but enjoy it. And I saw this thing today, Conky, that you sent, and I think I saved it here. Let's see. Let's see if I can bring it up real quick. Here it is. Oh, let me full screen it. I should just pull it up on the thing. Hold on. Okay, well, it's Charlie Brown and Snoopy sitting there. And he says, we only live once, Snoopy. Wrong. We only die once. We live every day.
Dang, Snoopy's putting the smack down on Charlie.
So just remember that, everybody. You don't only live once. You live every day. You only die once. So appreciate every day you got. And I saw that today, Conky. I was going through trying to find Jeremy's address. And I just realized, like, we send so many texts to each other and pictures and all this other stuff between all of us. I'm like this. I'm like, and then, like, I'm halfway through, and all of a sudden my finger, like, touched something, and I jump, like, halfway up the page. I'm like, oh, my gosh, I got to start again. And then I'm like, okay, wait, maybe I'll go through this. Like, okay, because maybe I'll go through this text. No, I can't. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to text Jeremy. And I felt stupid. Like, I only been to your house 10 times. What's your address?
Every time I come to your house, I ask for the address again.
That's why I was thinking. I was like, Jeremy just came to my house and said, Rob, what's your address? And he's been over there 10 times. So I was like, I don't feel so stupid then.
I don't say people's addresses. I just don't. I just click on it. GPS takes me there. I don't remember where it was. I'll ask you every single time. Like, I know which city you're in. I know which city Roy's in, which city Conky's in, but I would no clue.
Well, the
actually,
thing
is, you know, there's a search function amongst text strings. Right?
I did that. I searched, and it did not bring up. Well, I searched the city, and that did not work.
Oh, okay.
Because I tried that.
That's and like the day I was talking to Rob, and all of a sudden it goes, "This call is being recorded." Like, what the?
Oh yeah, we figured out how to do that the other day. That was a good time. Yeah, but like I punched into his city, and the only thing that popped up, only thing that popped up was the garage sale. He was talking about the state garage sale or whatever, the citywide garage sale, and I was like, yeah, that's not what I needed. Darn it. Because I tried that, right? Because I'm like, I thought about that halfway after I was already spent like 20 minutes. I'm like, wait, you could just search for a keyword in a text, and it'll pop through all the text. I go through our group chat, and I typed in his city, and that didn't work.
I gotta figure out how you do that now. Search with Samsung, or you guys got iPhones?
No, I got Samsung.
Samsung.
All right, how do you do that?
Okay, now I have to go back. I'll go into my phone and do it.
Oh, there's search.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
I see it now.
Like a message string.
Yeah, search messages.
Like, hit the 3 dots to the top right. And then hit
search messages. And I'll type in Roy's name and I'll search. It says, you need an auction link, Roy. Oh, need your auction link, Roy. That's the first thing that popped up. That's when Jeremy asked for the auction link for your gold and silver and all that awesome stuff coming up. That ends when?
That ends Tuesday.
Tuesday? Holy smoke.
Martin, I think we start closing at 7 p.m. And, hey, you got to get in quick. Get in soon.
Guys, there's unbelievable. There's $6,000 coin sets that are, what, $1,000? $2,000 now?
Yeah. Well, we haven't even got to $2,000 on one yet.
Yeah, and they're like $6,000 sets.
Oh, yeah. They will. They will get there.
We got one at 1,035, and we got another one. I think it just hit 1,000 today. So
I was going to go in and bid on all of them, but then I'm like, I figured Jeremy would have already done that.
You know, I wait till the last few minutes.
Me too. Don't worry.
Why drive a?
You got two bidders right here.
I mean, I'm looking at it all right now, to be honest. But so
we always say is that I always tell people the person that's going to win the item probably hasn't even bid yet. Like I always tell my consigners that.
Yeah.
And like I have an awesome auction this Saturday. I have gold and silver, and Roy and I were bidding against each other on advertising because we both had similar stuff and we both use the same.
Oh yeah, because you can pay for the extra advertising. That's right.
Yeah, so him and I were bidding. Well, I should say him and Joe were bidding against each other. They didn't know they were bidding against each other, but
I know that Joe's always in there.
Yeah,
prices came down a little bit though. Prices were crazy a couple months back though.
Ridiculous. Yeah, it's so weird. Sometimes the prices on these, the question you have to ask yourself, because they have these, you get the first spot, second spot, third spot, and this advertising, and it's basically for Ohio, and they're going to send out a thing. The question is though, how much are you going to do in the auction? Number one, and then you got to say, okay, if the auction's a $10,000 auction and you spend $1,000 in advertising, that might not be the smartest. 10% of your money goes to advertising. And then if it's a consignment auction and you're going again $10,000. Okay, and you're saying, let's just say easy math, just say 50%. So you get $5,000. You spend $1,000 on advertising. Now you're down to $4,000 of your money plus all your labor. Blah blah. You know what I'm saying? So advertising is a huge expense. So you gotta. It's one of those things like you can spend money on, but how much you want to spend, and and does it? Not all advertising equal. Also,
Right.
Because of people like, oh, advertise in a newspaper, advertise in this, advertise on this site, advertise on auctions, advertise on this, or I don't even know what's Go Auctioneers or whatever it is.
Yeah. So when he talks about advertising, like if you go to High Bid Ohio, like right on the main screen, right up top, you see the pictures moving, and you get 6 spots, and that's where we're going for our advertising. So that's us right there.
That's you right there.
I think we got like number 5, and I think Rob got number 3.
Yeah, we got number 3.
And then from there, I'll let it flip and show second cents real quick. It should be the next one. Yep, there they are.
Vintage High.
That's Rob. And then actually from there, you can go into different categories from Ohio High Bid. And then I was talking to Rob about this one because I was hoping if you click coins and currency, then they'll put like, I know that light's all in there. They put like 3 of the people off the 6, and Rob's on here. So that's Rob right there, I do believe.
Lewis and Clark bicentennial dollars.
So when it's showing those pictures, like it showed the pictures of the Lewis and Clark, do you get?
Although we did land in the jewelry category though, by the way. But go ahead. Sorry.
Do you get to choose which pictures it shows, or does it just pull random out of your auction?
Good question, Conky. I asked that question before. From what I understand, you can pick one picture if you want, but then it's always that one picture, or it'll randomly switch pictures. So like every time you go, will be a different photo.
So if you got a really good, say, coin auction like Roy has, but there may not be all coins, there might be some other things in there. If you're trying to advertise the coin, it doesn't really do you any good if it comes up with a piece of glass or a.
Well, no, because his auction, only not a third of its coins. So 2/3 of the auction is not coins. So it's a coin auction, but it's also a whole estate. So in the end of the day, he really wants to sell. He knows he's going to get good money on the coins, but he's hoping all the other stuff in there he gets good money on, because then he'll have an unbelievable auction. Because he already knows the coins and gold and silver, it's going to bring money, because you got people like me and Hale sitting there to the last minute driving up that price. But the furniture, the lamp, the china, the glass, that's all the stuff that with all the coins and everything, he's already going to do awesome, because it's going to, all these people, that one guy that wants that one gold coin set's going to buy, that lamp or that glass, where his wife, he might be looking, and all of a sudden that picture shows up with that glass, and his wife's like, hey, I like that. And now all of a sudden, now she wants him to buy something at the auction.
I guess what I'm saying is if you're going to advertise like that, if you're going to bid on an advertising spot and you're going to pay for that, you really want that to be for an auction with like all good stuff. You don't want like a bunch of old VHS tapes in there. Well, it's probably a bad example, but you don't want the end of the night chattels in there bogging down the sale. You really want that to be a premier sale, correct?
You mean if you're bidding for a category, or just trying to get at that top of the page like that?
Well, if you're trying to get at the top of the page like that, you don't want, you don't want to pay for that advertisement and then have it come up with a lot of old cell phones or something. Just
it does though.
I'll let Rob answer that first.
Well, we buy a spot basically every week. So we buy almost 50 some spots a year, Conky, on the same site. And that goes anywhere between number 1 and number 5. And then sometimes we'll get category spots. So I've always thought about, do the one picture or the various pictures. And sometimes like the picture I just saw there, I didn't like. So I wasn't happy with that. I'd rather have a different picture. But Yeah, I don't know. I thought about that before. You just pick one item and do the picture of just that one item and it never changes, you know.
Yeah.
But the key is really, I mean, getting the people just to click. And I don't know if that one picture, you know, I guess it's like a thumbnail. So I guess it could help that one picture. But if they're not interested in that picture, I guess it doesn't matter. Right.
Right.
So
Yeah,
it's
but
like,
if they hit refresh, then it'd be a different picture if you got more than one picture in your list.
true.
So like that's just the picture when you opened it. But if you were to like to go to another page and come back, a lot of times there's going to be another picture if you have more than one picture that you elected to be in that particular area.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is it'd be so easy for them to just say, okay, you know, you got 1,000 lot auction. I really only want these 100 pictures to be a candidate for the show. You know, check this box if you want it to go into the rotation.
I don't know how they pick the pictures either. That's a good question. It could be from like, it might change as like people bid on stuff in the auction. I don't know if it like as more popular the item is, they might show that picture more.
You'd think that would be how it worked.
That's a possibility because
you know,
I didn't know this before, but Roy pointed out to me like if you have certain items that are getting a lot of bids or high dollar items, they'll become like a key item on their site, high bid, and they'll show like that item from your auction.
without
like
you
Roy's,
paying for it, like separate from what you were just talking
yeah,
about.
and this has nothing to do with payment. So like there's a good chance this Tuesday there's gonna be some items from Roy's auction that could be up on the high bid site. You know, like a gold coin lot showing that gold coin lot at $5,007 with 32 bids, you know. Like,
yeah, it's
Roy,
kind of interesting how they do that, but go ahead.
You told me the other day, I forgot what it was. Like, you're like, Rob, you have something on the page. I forgot what it was, a couple of auctions ago or something. Maybe it was Marblehead or something. I don't remember. But you're like, Rob, you have something on the page. And I was like, oh, I never look. Him and my business partner, they look at the high, but I never. Only time I look is like when he's bidding on it. And I always, you know, I like to see like the people bidding. And then you're always
look at
storage auction
analytics.
like,
so, you know, I look at the thought that, okay, if you're on a computer, like when you see the rolling screen, like I look at the numbers that come in from Ohio High Bid. So I can see, you know, we can see on the back end, like the analytics, how many people jump into your sale because, you know, they came from Ohio High Bid in that particular case. And what'll happen is like, if I'm not in the top 3, I know that my viewership numbers from paying for these ads is down if I'm in the bottom 3. But the thing that I do also and have learned is I bought spot number 5 because we have a great sale. But because of things in the sale, getting that spot puts me in another category. So we didn't get into the coin slot that I was hoping. And I don't know exactly how all that works. But they'll put 3 people off the front page in the different categories. So we have a lot of jewelry in our sale. We got put in the jewelry category under High Bid Ohio. So, you know, we populate in different areas, and you can, you get more advertisement, and that's just something I'm learning. Popular sales, they have a little spot where it's like, these are your top most popular items, and you know, you could see somebody like Rob's items there or something like that. And then every now and then we buy a category spot because High Bid has like a website for each state, and then they have their overall, you know, highbid.com. So, and every now and then, like I was trying to get a coin and currency slot on that page too, but it just went ridiculously crazy. It was like $450 just to get that slot. When it comes to paying for them, the question becomes, what's the value, right? Like we get more people and new people to our sales by paying for it, and we have a better click-through rate by having that ad. But is your sale worth the money sometimes? So last year when we first got on High Bid, I mean, we were getting on in some of these spots for 20, 50, under $100. Now, to get the spot we got this week, it was $275, and the last few weeks before that, it's been ridiculously over $400 for any spot. Wow. Spot number 1 was $707. Like, I mean, and that shot up like that on the last day. And it's like, yeah, it was at like $11 until the last day in the morning. And then all of a sudden it's like, boom, just jumped to 705 in a heartbeat. You know, so there are companies that will put their money up there. What's that?
Now, the other day we were at $30 and there was like 4 minutes left, you know. Next thing you know, I think we got it was like, I think it was the other day when we just got the spot. It was like, it was cheap for a minute, and then all of a sudden, like the last 5 minutes, it went from like $30 up to like whatever it was. I think we paid $350 or something for that spot.
Yeah. I was at 300, and then I was like, you know what? I'm not going over 300.
And when people
I went down the row like, okay, number 2, 300 up. When I got outbid, then I went to 3 all the way down, and because
this is pure. I mean, the advertising, yes, you're going to get business off it. The question is, you're going to get business either way. You're going to have the auction. The auction's still going to get, the question is the advertising, is it going to, is it going to generate an extra $1,000 in revenue for you, $5,000 in revenue, $10,000 in revenue? That's the question you have to ask yourself. And then that's pure profit. You know what I'm saying? If you don't spend $400 on advertising, that's $400 you didn't have to spend. So I'm just saying, it's pure, like, bottom line, it's like, boom, right into your pocket money.
You guys make a profit at this? I am definitely in the wrong place. I thought this was AA. You guys are making profit. I know I don't belong.
That's because I'm going to send him this hair. Then he'll understand.
Yeah, that's going to be his profit. The hair.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so it's been a crazy day. And start off pouring rain. I got to go drive out and hang out with Conky, Noreen, Steve Wilson, and Mr. Hales. So that was good. And got to go to the shop, unload a van, move around some stuff. Try to buy 80 balloons from the store for my mom. And the lady goes, there's a 3 helium balloon limit.
What?
Yeah, we could only get 3 helium balloons. But then they have these giant balloons. And I said, well, can I get those? And she's like, yeah, you get 3 of those. So I got these giant helium balloons for my mom. Mac and Beth, how we doing? Hey, Rob, Jeremy, Conky, really get jump in. 24/7 caretaker for my mom. Well, that's awesome. Beth, taking care of your mom, that's awesome. Noreen, Conky needs a kiss. That's true. Conky always needs a kiss.
Always. I'll get one when I go upstairs.
Get some sugar. Yeah, Mike and Beth, we thank you so much for the $5. And man, yeah, I know I remember my grandmother, and my grandfather took care of her, and then like my dad used to go there every day after work, and like because she had MS ever since I was a kid, and I remember doing all that, do exercises with her every day and all that stuff. And but thank you so much, Beth. Appreciate it. I appreciate the support. And,
MS is definitely not a good disease, that's for sure.
Yeah, it was like I just remember my grandmother the whole time, my whole life, she was always like in a bed or in a wheelchair. And yeah, she had MS, I think, for like 20 years or something, like real bad, like in wheelchair bound for like 20 some years. So, but I mean, I'm just thankful. My mom, 80 years old, still doing awesome. Hopefully, I get to take her. I'll use that money, Mike and Beth, right there. Take my mom to Vegas to go see the Wizard of Oz. So everyone's like, you should take her now. I love to take her right now. The thing is, like, just February to Vegas just sounds so much better.
Yeah, especially in this area.
Right, Conky?
Yeah.
I mean, Roy hit it right there. You're from Cleveland, and you're like, February, Vegas? Yeah. Because when it's February time, you're ready to leave Cleveland.
Oh, yeah.
December, yeah, it's cool. January, all right, it's not too bad. February, oh my gosh. March, April, I thought we're spring.
Yeah. It's not supposed to snow in April.
I tell people, I remember one of the worst snowstorms. I used to run hotels and restaurants, and there's a hotel on the east side, a Marriott hotel, in Warrensville Heights / Beechwood. They built years ago, crossing that out, Huja Medical Center. But long story short, that Easter, it was a blizzard. And we had a brunch going on, Easter brunch. And I remember calling out, like, we're going to cancel that. I'm like, nope. And I left my house in Cleveland at the time. I lived over there off of West Boulevard area. I still have the house today, but it was my first house. I'm driving and left there, and then I had to go over the Valley View Bridge. And you guys know Valley View Bridge. Mm-hmm. This bridge is huge. Mm-hmm. It's long, and it's high. And the wind off this bridge is bad. Everything else. It snowed so much. I think I was going 15 on the highway. There's one lane because you couldn't go, and none of the other lanes. There's just the one lane from the people driving in, and everyone's in the same lane. And we're going across this bridge, and I'm just like, you know what? What the heck am I doing with my life? I'm putting my life on the line to go see all these people come celebrate Easter. I'm with my family, go celebrate Easter with some guy dressed in a bunny suit. You know, like, what the heck am I doing? Driving to work. You know, I'm just like, man, this is the dumbest thing ever. Is it really worth my life? Like putting my life on the risk to go, oh yeah, everyone get to go enjoy their, you know, Easter. Rob dies on the bridge going to work and no one cares. But yeah, that's why working for yourself sometimes. It was like today, for example, you know, you're going to tell your boss, oh, this guy's in town. I'm going to come and work today. I'm going to go late or blah, blah, blah. You know, Conky, he don't have to tell anybody. He just goes and does his thing, takes Noreen, goes, we have a good time, go to lunch and all this other stuff. Me, I don't have to go tell anybody, blah, blah, go do my stuff, have a good time. I don't have to, hey, boss, I need to take off today. I got to get out today. You know, because like Jeremy, what did he say? He's like, hey, you guys want to go get something to eat? I'm like, I don't know. Let me call my boss real quick.
I heard your boss is a real asshole.
Oh, he is, man. He is. I've always tell my kids that too, you know, like just to try to instill in them that, you know, there's a lot of tough parts about being an entrepreneur. And Conky and Roy will tell you, I mean, there's lots of lows. There's lots of tough times. There's money's not, you know, there's hits and miss on money. There's peaks and valleys with anything in life, you know, but just being able to have freedom, not having to answer to somebody, it's worth $1 million. You know, I will take less money any day of the week to not have to listen to somebody. Well, we're all married, so let's be honest.
Right.
Well, we're at work, damn it.
Well, it depends.
Yes, sorry, your wife works with you, right? And Conky's wife, he works with him too. So luckily, that's why I got an 18,000 square foot building. But yeah, it's the little things like that to have that opportunity and to be able to do those little things in life. So
yeah, I have a 31-year-old son. I had to go take to get blood work today. So that's the only reason I couldn't join you guys. But I mean, just the ability to be able to, you know, this is what I did today, you know. And then we went to get haircuts, me and him, because I told him for a couple weeks, you know, I was going to cut his hair. But, you know, I set up for us to go to my cousin's a barber. So we went over and got a cut with him.
Nice.
And got to chill and then grab some lunch. And, you know, like that's one of those things, like you say, one of those small things, you know. You know, and he's got a mental illness, so he's not capable of doing things on his own. So, you know, it was nice to actually be able to go and be able to take the time to do that because of it. But, you know, like Rob said, those are the small blessings out of it, but it's still a lot of work to be an entrepreneur for sure.
Especially this business.
Oh yeah. Feast or famine. That's what Rob keeps telling me.
Yeah.
I didn't believe him at first.
It is feast or famine. But we're glorified movers, man.
Oh yeah.
I tell people all the time, you know, if you want to be an auctioneer, you're a glorified mover. It's like, oh yeah, we were talking about today, you know, like for storage, and it's all these people watch our videos, you know, you see 30-minute, 40-minute video, but you know, the actual time of process everything and, you know, going through and donating or throwing out or recycling and all the stuff that goes into it and then getting stuff ready for sale and blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, it's these, how much work. Or like when you go into a house and you have to go in and set up this whole house for an auction, you know, and, you know, like Rory has that, you know, it's like, it's a lot of work. A lot of people can't do it because they get overwhelmed. And Rory knows what I'm talking about.
Oh, that's true.
Sometimes you walk in the house. Like,
I don't know about you, Rob, but I go in some houses and I get overwhelmed just looking at it. That's our first day, like being overwhelmed. Like they're like, all right, where do you start? And you know, I think our first day we quit even trying to do lots more than, you know, we just go in and try to organize and just, you know, take a day to process what we got to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now I'll try to set up for. It depends on how much there is there, but I'll try to set up like a couple days. But like that house at Marblehead, it was like we had a very short window of time, and I really, you know, Jack and I pressed that one up. But it was like set up And that was probably the most difficult house I had to do, for a simple fact is that I had to set up and catalog why Jack is photoing. So I'm trying to stay ahead of Jack, and photoing is a lot quicker than cataloging or setting up. But I was able to set up and catalog faster than he could photo. So it's very hard to understand. A lot of people are like, I don't even know what I'm talking about, Rob, but Roy knows exactly what I'm talking about. And
oh yeah.
And I was averaging over 200 lots a day cataloged, plus I'm setting up.
I got a taste for it when we went down to when we did all those dioramas in that guy's basement. I forget what little town that was. It was down past Columbus. And I don't know how long you were there before I got there, but I got there like, I forget what it was like. It was like a Friday afternoon or something. And we spent the night. We were there till, middle of the day the next day, getting everything ready to go. And no, we cataloged it there, didn't we? And then we threw it on the van and took it.
We cataloged that. Yeah, I think we cataloged some of the stuff, not everything. The stuff that was set up, we cataloged.
Yeah.
Because he had big one sorry stuff. So we photoed those and cataloged those. And then he had all the ones already in totes and all that. But yeah, I mean, Conky went there and worked with me. And we worked, 11 o'clock at night?
Yeah, it was late.
Like that. And then we crashed at the house. And then we woke up next day and finished working. And, but yeah, it was a good time. But it was like one of those things. It's just the amount of work that was in that, people don't see that,
Nope.
Just like that house we just did with all the toys, Conky. I mean, I was there so many times, and it's just like, oh.
Yeah, but that was me. That was. You guys still have lots from that, don't you? I mean, I still haven't bought my bus yet.
Shane said there's probably at least another 1.5 to 2 auctions left.
Wow.
I know they contacted me last week, and I was like, oh, don't worry, we got another check. And I sent them another check. And so they got another 5-figure check. So they're doing pretty good.
Nice.
See, that's where I'm trying to get. I'm always trying to chase Rob here.
I'll be chasing you soon.
Shoot, I don't know, man.
This point auction you got going on, Roy,
that's a big one.
That is, Rob and I were talking about that the other day, and a valid point he made is like, that when's the next time something of that caliber comes down the pipeline for you, Like, I mean, sooner or later there will be a bigger coin collection, or like this one was a lot of proof sets and newer coins, proof coins, like I want to get into, getting a coin collection where, you have the like old money, old currency, stuff like that as well. So, I mean, this is nice, but then there's other things that I'd love to see, like, dollar bills from the 1800s and 1700s, stuff like that. Right. But the reality is, Rob had said, it'd be a few years before, you
well, this is what I said. I said, it might be a few years. I said, I hope your next one is the next week or the week after. I'm hoping that the next sale that's better is the next week or 2 weeks after this sale ends.
Right.
That's what I hope for.
But the truth is, like, it doesn't.
It might be a couple years down the road.
Yeah. At least in my opinion, the next sale that's better than this one. Yeah. But the next coin collection that's going to be better than this one. Like, I mean, I've done a couple knife collections, and, I mean, I love selling knife collections too, and it was a couple years in between my 2 knife collections, and the second one was better than the first one, but the first one I thought was awesome. You know what I mean? And that deal, that was a buyout for $250, and I can't believe we made over 15 grand so far. And I still got stuff from that we're selling. So, there's certain accolades you can make from certain sales, but yeah, when's the next time I'll top a coin collection like this? It'd be nice if we could do it by the end of the year, but it's going to be a hard one to beat.
And the reason for those watching and stuff like that is, Roy and I, we go to a lot of houses. We're auctioneers, and we help do a lot of states and things like that. Most of these states you go to, the things that are always gone are the jewelry, the coins, the firearms.
Yep.
Those 3 things are usually always gone. And the vehicles most of the time too.
Yes.
Once in a blue moon, you might get a vehicle, but most of the time, those 4 things are gone. Like family members, whoever, somebody, those things always get gobbled up. And then usually you get to the house and you hope they have stuff that's worth selling. And sometimes you got to be the person saying, hey, there's not enough stuff here for me to have an auction. There's no draw items here. I try to explain this to people all the time. You got a lot of nice stuff, but that doesn't mean you can have an auction.
Right.
Because, in the end of the day, Roy and I got to make money. And for us to go there and say, okay, yeah, you got $5,000 worth of stuff. Well, him and I can't have a $5,000 auction and do it on consignment and set it all up and catalog and photo and advertise it and everything else. And we get a percent of $5,000 because we won't be in business very long. Because, you get the whole $5,000. Yeah, that's not too bad. But you get a percent of $5,000, it ain't a lot of money.
Especially if you got crew coming in to help you out too. So
yeah, by the time you add your expenses, then you ain't going to make nothing. So, yeah. And that's the thing. A lot of houses, and it's nice when, like this house, like Roy told the lady straight up, ma'am, I would not do this auction if it wasn't for the coins. I wouldn't do the auction. It's not worth my time, energy, and effort. All the stuff in the house, there's 700 lots or so. Beautiful, nice stuff. Nothing to say bad about the stuff. It's just there's not enough stuff that has value, high enough value, that in the end it's going to be worth him taking the auction. Even though all that stuff in the house, beautiful, but without the coins and the jewelry and stuff, there's not the draw items. No one's going to go look at the auction because there's a bunch of nice furniture and glassware and, china and, whatever, furnishings, whatever. There's a lot of nice, beautiful stuff, but that's not stuff that draws people to the auction. Now, people want to buy that stuff when they go to auction, but you need something to bring them there, if that makes sense. And we draw items, and coins are draw items, firearms are draw items, vehicles are draw items. And that's why I was talking about earlier.
Draw.
Most of the houses, the draw items, the family takes them out because why? That's why they call them draw items, because even the family's drawn to them. So, and you get lucky.
And the other thing, you always got to make sure the family's done.
Well,
like that's one of the big mistakes. As you learn, you go and you look at a sale, and if you're not careful enough to make sure that the family has already been out of the house. You could look at a sale, and then when you come back and after you sign the contract and you come back and you start the house, and all of a sudden all the good stuff that is left at that point is gone. And then you just left with nothing, like we've been there and done that too, where,
cousin Ed wanted the, that, and my sister wanted that thing over there. So I figured you guys wouldn't mind.
Or what do you do when you've already listed it and sold it, and then you come back to do the pickup? And some family members been in there and gone through everything, taking what they wanted. That's got to be the worst.
Well, luckily, hopefully, that doesn't happen. I mean, it's happened to me. But that was a company, and the guy sold the item, and he said, and then the engine was missing, and then we found it in the guy's office. But that was a whole nother story. But what I do now is that, like, if there's some big items, draw items, like I'll put those. There's a spot in the contract you can put a couple items in if you want to put. You can make it as big as you want. You can make a whole addendum and put every item, blah, blah, blah. But I can't catalog every item and then catalog them again.
Right.
I always tell people, they're like, well, how do I said, if you want, just take pictures of everything. It's real simple.
Yeah.
And then you can go through your
pictures. Or you catalog it,
Or you catalog it. I'm not going to catalog everything in here. I'm a licensed bond auctioneer. Trust me, I'm going to take care of you. I do this for lawyers, all kind of stuff. It's, this is what I do. Don't worry about it. That's what we do. We're licensed bond auctioneers. You can trust us. But I just think you get in those situations, Conky, and they take the stuff. It's the worst, Yeah.
And that would be what I do as well. Like the draw items that, I want to make sure are still there. I put it in the contract because obviously, again, like this house we're doing now, like you can't list everything. It was 700 some lots, and and then some of them are just big lots and you don't even know yet. So you really can't catalog it at that point regardless. But, the draw items. So the big thing with the contract was the coins, so those were specific things that we had to make sure, number one, that we made sure we're in the contract. They wanted special splits on them, which worked out. And then on top of that, the brother cataloged all of them. So now we have that with the contract, his catalog, because now I can put the addendum, here's all the coins and, whatever the case, because he's going to be checking it, but it's part of the contract now because it's an inventory of all the coins we're selling. You know what I mean? And I'll say, you best believe he was checking inventory. So, but at that point, you know, that's what's in the contract, the list of all the coins, because that was the biggest thing they cared about. You know, they didn't really care about the chattels in the house as much as they cared about making sure all the coins were listed and sold. You know, so I think at this point, I can't speak for Rob, but I would assume he's got enough experience as well to say, you know, we don't tend to walk into those too often where somebody's pulling stuff that you already cataloged. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm pretty much open. I tell people, listen, as soon as if I catalog and photo it, it's over. You know, you guys can buy it back, and you know, and pay for the stuff just like everybody else, and then you're not getting it for free and nothing else. If I catalog and photo it, I don't care if you're the one that owned it, you're paying for it. And when I first started, this is a good story, but I did an auction for this guy. He bought a warehouse. This is back in the recession, you know, and everything, buildings are selling for nothing. I don't know what he paid for this warehouse, $20,000, $10,000. Long story short, it's full of stuff. Rob, I don't care. I need all this stuff out of here. I don't care what it sells for. Awesome. There's bikes, there's tools, machinery, all kinds of stuff. A whole warehouse full of stuff. I'm like, great. Starts selling all stuff off, and he starts bidding on stuff. I'm like, okay, I sold him this. He keeps bidding. Okay. I'm like, well, I guess he wants this. I don't know why he's bidding on stuff. And then afterwards, you know, I go and I was like, gave him his money, and he goes, what? I said, well, I took your stuff out of you. What? I said, you bought it. I said, hey, listen, I'm here to make money. Because you wanted to buy it, that ain't my problem. I said, my problem is I'm here selling the stuff. I work the same amount. I'm not going to, just because you decided you want to spend $1,500, I think he spent or something on stuff and he bought back. And, you know, because he thought it was going for too cheap or whatever else. And this is when I first started, you know. And I'm like, hey, that ain't my problem. You know, I got to get paid. And at the end of the day, I'm not working for free. And you tell me I don't care about the stuff. If you care about it, don't put it in the auction.
Yeah.
I always tell people, listen, if somebody wants it, when I go to the houses all the time, call Gato, if somebody wants it from your family, give it to them. Okay? It's easier, whatever. It doesn't matter what's going to bring an auction. Just, it ain't worth making people upset over the family, because I've seen too many families fight over crap stuff. And all the stuff, it's crap, junk. I don't care. It could be this Omega watch here that's 18 karat gold. It's crap. It's junk. It means nothing. People, whole family, they don't ever talk. They talked for 50 years, and now they won't talk ever again because of some stupid watch or some stupid fan, whatever. Because, oh, well, this is worth this much. Or Susie went over there and took this, and I've heard every horror story. I've heard about people, they didn't even put the mom in the ground yet, and the relatives are over there while everyone's over there at the cemetery, because they know everyone's at the cemetery. They're at the house taking all the jewelry. Okay? I've heard you wouldn't even believe the stuff I've heard from people, families, what people have done. Horrible. But I tell you, everybody, it's just stuff. People like, Rob, I can't believe you treat stuff like this or that, blah, blah. It's just stuff, ladies and gentlemen. To you, it means a lot. It means nothing to anybody else. And as sad as that sounds, I hate to be blunt. I hate to be everything else. But Conky Redline Collection means a lot more to Conky than it does to anybody else. Okay? Because he knows where I got this car. I bought this car. I remember buying that. And he has, you know, he remembers. Like my collection, you know, I remember where I got this stuff from. Oh, I remember that unit, you know, and I got this. And, you know, it has everyone else. This is just an Omega watch that's 18 karat gold. To anybody else. To me, it could be my grandmother's watch. It could be, I got it from my sister, you know, blah, blah, blah. To anybody else, it's just a freaking watch. Okay. So it's just, that's the way it goes. And, you know, people put so much emphasis on stuff. And I mean, Roy, myself, we just see so much stuff, you know, and I know I'm a little bit more extreme than most people, but, you know, the amount of stuff people have and stuff they store and keep, go through all your stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. 90% of the stuff could go to the garbage today, recycle or sold. It ain't worth keeping. And a lot of people, oh, this is going to go up in value. Listen, those collector plates that grandma gave you, they're not worth the money. Just get rid of them. I shouldn't say that. Someone's gonna be like, "Hey, these $5,000 collector plates." But no, there are.
Somebody just told me they had. Oh man, I was talking to somebody. I think they were talking about they had Hummels or something like that. Like, yeah, no.
Well, I had some lady they said, "Listen, my mom passed away or something, and she had this huge porcelain doll collection. Oh my gosh. Some of these dolls are $200-$300 a piece. I said, listen, I did a house. The guy was a minister, very well off to do. His wife unfortunately passed away. Unbelievable doll collection. Dolls, some of them $500, handmade dolls, porcelain, all this other stuff. I try sell them at auction. Jeff, he bought most of them. He had a booth. He's like, I'm going to sell all these. He took all those. 4 months went by. You know how many he sold?
6.
0.
0. Wow.
Guess what he did with all of them? Threw them in the dumpster. All of them. Never sold one. He bought them all at the auction thinking, I'm going to make all this money. They're all this money. You know, you get paid $2, $3 a piece, whatever it was. I don't even know. Couldn't sell one. So my point is, it's understandable. There's people out there, I can't believe it. Da-da. You go on eBay. I mean, most dolls, it's just one of those things. They're not worth money. Why? Because they were sold for collecting purposes. And almost anything that's sold for collecting purposes is never going to have value. Hot Wheel red lines, they weren't sold for collecting purposes. They were sold for a toy for kids. That's why they're worth money, because most of them got thrown out, destroyed, little kids slamming them, banging them together. They're all chipped. The better condition, the more they're worth. Just like any other toy. Like this thing here. It's worth money because it's in the original box, because all the kids got it, took it out of the box, threw it away, boom, 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 boom. Okay? That's why it's worth money. It has nothing to do because it was not meant for people to collect. And that's why it's worth. But all the stuff that's meant for collecting purposes, most of it is not worth much.
Yeah, it was overpriced out of the gate too.
Right. If it's one of 2,500, it probably ain't worth anything. Marielle Dale super sticker.
They probably only sold about, I don't know, 500 of them. The other 2,000 are sitting in a warehouse because they couldn't get anything for them.
I remember I was like, oh, I've never seen it. Ooh, it's this low number, blah, blah, blah.
Nope.
Thank you so much, Mary Dale. I do appreciate it. So, a couple things we got to finish up here. One more time. My beautiful mom, 80 years old. Love you, Mom. Awesome. Yep, today's the actual birthday, September 4th. And my brother's birthday is 1 week from today, September 11th. So, and you can see where I get my good looks from. Thank you. And so this Saturday, secondsense.com there, we got an unbelievable, awesome auction. There's coins. There's jewelry. There's all kind of collectibles in there. Probably even something Conky wants.
One thing.
Is there one thing?
If I buy it, can I kind of pass on going up there next week until?
Yeah, that's fine, Conky.
All right.
So, and then this Saturday, I didn't even tell anybody, they got Painesville auction. So,
Right.
I know Roy's got some trailers he's got emptied that he's got to fill up, because empty trailers, like, you know, you don't want, it's like an empty belly. You don't want one.
Well, really only one. Really only one.
So that's all you need.
So we're gonna have to fill the other one up, because after the auction, we're picking up a consigner, and we're talking like a 300 cookie jar collection.
That's awesome.
So after the auction, we're going to pretty much, we'll record it because it's in a storage unit a little bit, and we're loading that up after the auction. So, but anyway, sorry.
What do you all think of Marketplace?
Well, I mean,
I'm planning on a
depends on
TBK. Sorry.
It depends on how you're looking at it, I guess. I like Marketplace because we ended up finding one of our best clients doing one-offs through, I think it was Marketplace or Craigslist, but one of our best clients came to us because one of their employees bought something and he referred us to him. So for me, I like it because it's extra marketing for us in the community.
The only thing I can tell you is, ever since I took Shane, I said, put him in charge of Facebook Marketplace. Man, kid's tearing it up, man. Tearing it up. And I don't even know. I think he sold like $4,000 worth of flooring I had. And all kind of other stuff. But there's no better feeling than when I have to go and, you know, I need cash. Almost every one of my things on payroll. Sometimes I got to pay some cash out. And not having to go to the bank to get cash out because there's cash in the box. It's great. It's great.
Yep.
So I used to always have cash in the box, but we don't take cash anymore. So it's one of those things. But
it's a nice feeling.
It is. And then this Saturday, I think 8 o'clock, you got Conky's Flipping Adventures. A little live action with the Eddie Cam.
With the Eddie Cam.
Nice.
And
Eddie.
And then this Tuesday, Roy?
Yep,
Starting
Tuesday,
at
7 p.m.
7 p.m. You guys got to check out his auction. But first, check my auction out. But he's got some silver and gold, just like me. But he's got more gold coins. I don't have any gold coins. I just have silver coins and some gold jewelry. But Roy's got silver coins, silver jewelry. We both got silver flatware. It's kind of weird how we both have like a similar type of. I mean, your auction is way better. Don't get me wrong. His auction is way better than mine. Mine's but we both got some similar type auctions. We both got some coins, jewelry. Both got sterling flatware. And I don't even know what else I got in auction. Is this the one that got audio equipment? Or is that the next auction? I think this one has audio equipment. Yeah, some nice audio equipment we got from that one lady's house. Her son was in the military and came back in like 1982 and brought all this audio equipment that he had over there and never unboxed it. Like he boxed it all up when it was there, and it's like top of the line audio equipment. And like put in the box, the original box, and then came back and it just sat in his house.
Wow.
So I mean, this stuff's like pristine. Like if I was an audiophile guy, I'd be like, this is the stuff you want to buy. You know what I'm saying? It's like pristine, original box, the foam, everything's in the box. I mean, it looks like brand new. Like I don't even know how much he ever used it. So, but Marketplace, I have no qualms with Marketplace. The biggest issue at Marketplace is just I don't know how people can do Marketplace if you don't have like a business. Like for me, we tell people, you know, we have set hours. So Shane puts on there Monday through Friday, 10 to 6. Here's the address. Can I pick it up on Saturday? No. Sunday? No. And I'm sure it hurts a lot of our sales, but no one's going to sit there and wait for people because that's the biggest issue I hear about Marketplace is like someone's like, oh, I'm going to come get it. Is this still available? Oh, I'll be there. Blah, blah, blah. And they never show up. So the worst thing you want to do is sit around yourself or you're paying someone to sit there for someone that never shows up for an item. So they waste an hour and a half of your time. So that's the bad part about Marketplace. But for us, it works awesome because we have a set hours and a set business. So the Marketplace goes the same time as Second Sense. So if you want something from the Marketplace, boom, you got your times. Other than that, and it's a little bit, you know, I can understand why a lot of people, you know, like Jack, he bought something off Marketplace. You know, he had to go meet this guy at like a Chipotle or something. You know what I'm saying? And because people are all wary, you don't want to meet at your house. You don't want some stranger being at your house, and you're going to want to meet them on the side of roads. You got to meet them in some public parking lot like a Walmart because you don't. This way, if they rob you, at least you get witnesses. I guess I don't know. So, but that's the whole issue.
I gotta say that's what I like about doing any of that out of the warehouse. You know, because before we were in the warehouse several years ago, I mean, we meet people, you know, or deliver it to people. And now it's like, no, I'm not delivering anything. This is the safety of my business. You know what I mean? You can come here and pick it up, and we're in the warehouse and we give them our warehouse hours when we're there. And it's like first come, first serve too. I mean, I'm not holding for anyone either. So it works out pretty well. You know, the only thing is, you know, it doesn't liquidate as quickly as an auction sometimes, but you know, not having the cash being accepted at our auctions anymore like we used to. Yeah. The cash reserves are, you know, a little light, but
yeah, it was always nice to have the cash, especially when you go to like a storage unit auction.
Yeah.
You know, like you had an auction, then you'd have a big wad of cash. You can go to the auction and boom. Now you go to the bank. So we all got a lot of stuff going on. So you got to check out Conky Saturday, 8 o'clock. You got to check out Avery's auction this Tuesday, ending at 7 o'clock. I got this auction this Saturday, ending at 1 o'clock p.m. And tons of great stuff going on. I was just thinking, I got all these videos. I don't know. I got when Jack got 3 free units. I got to put those videos out. I got probably the greatest collection of comics that I ever got. And that auction is going to start ending in, I think it ends the 20th. But I got to do that video just to show people. I mean, there's so much stuff I got to do. So I don't know what video is coming out next, but man, there's going to, I don't even know. I got so many videos. I'm like, so it's gonna be a surprise this Friday, and we'll do a quick prayer, and then
I'll say I'm working on real quick before we pray that I'm working on a video that's gonna come out showing the house and kind of how we organize it. And then after that, I got the Norton storage unit that'll be coming up. So
nice.
So A-tail flippers, yes, we are still doing YouTube. Just been very busy and a lot of energy, and just had to take a little break.
Speaking of which, I just gotta say this real quick. It's weird when you go to a family party and like 5 people come up to you. Oh, I watch your channel all the time. Watching, like, it's always cool, because I get to see you. And the one they're like, they have to, like, my cousin, like his grandkids are there, and he's like, he goes, this is the guy we watch all the time, and they're like, yeah, they always watch you every night, like, and usually, it's like, okay, so it's kind of weird, your family, and then I took my mother-in-law out last week for her to get food. I never recognized, okay, and I tell my wife I don't wear my shirt usually, but I went right from work to go see with my mother-in-law, and I walk in there, and the guy was like, hey, Rob, I always watch your channel and stuff, and I'm like, I'm here with my mother-in-law trying to get dinner, it's kind of weird, but if you ever see me in public, please come up and talk to me, say hi to me. I'm more than happy, and but it was just, because I'm just a person. I'm no celebrity or anything else. I'm just a guy, like I told Conky a long time ago, we're like Z-list celebrities. There's A,
Is
B,
there something lower than Z?
yeah, double Z, yeah. We're below the guy that does the commercials for the acid reflux. The guy that does the hemorrhoid commercials, he's above us, okay? We're like that guy right below the hemorrhoid.
I really don't want to be below somebody's hemorrhoid, but that's where we are.
That's where we are, Conky. Okay. So on the chart of
I didn't need to see that picture. I can't unsee that now.
No, we better pray. Lord, please take away my hemorrhoids. All right, no. Lord, once again, thank you for bringing this awesome community together and this awesome friendship that we have, and just give us the opportunity to share, these days with our loved ones and people that we know, and just to get caught up on some stuff. It's just been a great day. And once again, Lord, all the people out there, especially my mother on this 80th birthday of hers, just, look over her and keep her healthy, and let all of us out there that have any issues or problems, or anyone that we know, help them the best way you see fit, Lord. And just keep us safe in our travels and our journeys, and let anyone that has anything whatsoever, Lord, just help them the best way you see fit. Amen.
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 And like I said, once again, gotta show off my mama. Beautiful mama. Look how happy she is. And they couldn't even put 80 candles on there. I mean, come on, people. What the heck? I was like, I know this guy, Joe, that could light the whole candles, all 80 at once. His flamethrower. Yeah, all 80 candles at once, no problem. The cake's all melted and stuff.
Original or extra crispy?
Oh my gosh. So the best is like, they start singing happy birthday, my mom. All these people were there. And it's like, okay. And then someone's like, you didn't light the candles, so the candles aren't lit. Okay. And then they got the light on, the ceiling fans on. Okay. So I turn the light off. Well, the ceiling fans, it doesn't stop instantly. So my brother's trying to light the candles. Everyone's still singing. I try to get everyone to stop, but no, everyone just wants to keep singing. All right. My brother's trying to light the candles. And the ceiling fan finally, and they're like, the fan's on. Someone's like, I'm like, oh, I already turned it off. It just takes time, Oh my gosh. But yeah, we sang it. We do 2 parts of happy birthday. So we do happy birthday and the God bless, or, may the Lord bless you. So the double extra thing got us enough time to light the candles. But it was nice seeing all the relatives and coming together for my mom. And, it was a great day. I got to see Steve, and I got to see my mom, and got to see a bunch of family members. And then I got to see these great guys, and got to see everyone in the chat tonight. So we appreciate every single one of you guys. And we really, really appreciate your support. And like I said, check out Conky Saturday night. Check out my auction on Saturday in the 1 o'clock. If you guys come out to Painesville and see Auctioneer Extraordinaire this Saturday, 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock, and maybe Chardon at 11-ish or so. But last I seen, I think we had 4, 10, and 2, or 4, 11, and 2, something like that. So we'll see. I'll find out tomorrow. I'll text you guys the exact number. And if anyone out there is watching and you want to know, just give me a call. I'll tell you the number, but call me later in the day, because I probably won't know early in the day. But on that note, Thank you guys so much for watching. We appreciate it. Anything you want to say, Conky?
Yeah, just good night. We'll see you guys Saturday.
Saturday night, Conky's Flipping Adventures. Roy?
Thank you all for joining us.
Recycle Neo, ladies and gentlemen, his auction. So remember, if you're looking for Avery's All In, it's not under there. If you go to his YouTube channel, you can click and there's a link for his auction, or just go to Avery's All In. You can Google it. It'll pop up to his website. Go and click on the go to auctions. You'll find it. So, and then
thank you for pointing that out.
Yes, I try to point that out all the time. I try to help you out, Roy. Don't tell anybody anything different. But no, we appreciate
wrong guy.
No, we appreciate you guys. And then pretty soon we're going to change Auctions Anonymous to Auctioneers Anonymous because everyone is going to be an auctioneer that's on the show. So
Yep.
Still AA.